Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new video. Today I'm going to be covering how to clean your helmet and how to clean your visor. Now this is very fitting because I am putting my helmets away for the winter so I can give them a nice good clean before I put them away. And I thought I would give you guys a quick video on how to do that if you don't know how to do it. So I hope this video is helpful for you guys. So for this video, I am cleaning my tinted visor and my clear visor on my own helmet. So for the visor itself, you can get a designated visor cleaner. I have the Molekule visor cleaner itself, and I would recommend getting a nice microfiber and a few shop towels. For the helmet itself, I would recommend using a cleaner and polish, which I have here is perfect for the helmet. So for the actual visor, what we're gonna do is we are going to shake the bottle, get it nice and ready to go. Now we're going to spray the actual microfiber cloth, and then we will apply it to the visor itself, going across and just getting it nice and wet, covering the entire surface with that cleaner. And then with the dry side of the microfiber, we are going to buff all that in and just kind of wipe it away until it's clean and crystal clear. If the first coat doesn't clean all of it, you can keep applying a coat. Just make sure that you are using a microfiber at all times and you are not wetting the entire microfiber. Keep the dry side so you can really buff out the rest of the cleaner. The instructions for the one I use, the Molekule cleaner, tells me that you want to apply it to the outside of the visor. I also apply it to the inside because it gets foggy in there and that can start to build up in there and get a little blurry at times. So that's why I decided to apply the cleaner on the inside as well. It's not going to hurt you to do it, and it's not going to hurt you not to do it. But for me, I just like keeping a good clean inside part of the visor so I can see through it fully. Now you can use a nice anti-fog. This brand also offers anti-fog, which you can do. I will not be doing it this video because I will not be using my helmet for months on end, so I don't really need the anti-fog right now. There's no use for it at all. So, but if you are using it year round and you're in a nice warmer state, you can 100% use the anti-fog. Also, on my helmet, the Sedici Strata 3, there's a mechanism to unlock the visor, and if you don't know how to do it, this is what you do. So on the actual mechanism, there's this tab that comes in toward you, so we're gonna pull that in, and this should wiggle its way out and eventually pop that out, and it should come loose. And we're gonna do that on the opposite side. Most helmets are the exact same way. If you don't know how to unlock your helmet or to take the visor off, I'm sure there's plenty of videos for that resource. So again, if you have the Sedici Strata 3, this is definitely the one for you. So for my clear visor, we're gonna do the same exact thing. I'll spare you guys all the time and details. This is just a quick little wipe on the outside with the visor cleaner, with the actual wet side, and then get a nice dry side of the microfiber and wipe all that off. And we're going to repeat that for the outside as well as the inside. All right, so now we're going to get to the actual helmet. We're going to make sure that we get into every little crevice here. We don't want to miss any kind of spots. There's a lot of grime and stuff that goes in between, like your vent holes, by the mouthpiece. Just getting all like the little bits and pieces, not just the actual bugs on the front of the helmet that are very obvious, but in the little crevices, especially by the mechanism. There's some dirt grime up in there. We also want to make sure we get by the actual head mount, everything. But first we are going to remove the liner within the helmet. So the best part about the liner is it just pops out. If anything, the liner is harder to get back in than it is to get out. It just takes a little bit of a pull in certain areas, find where the pressure points are and give a good pull. Most liners are the same, so don't worry about breaking them. What you're seeing here, I've done this many times. I'm connecting my microphones. I've done it with all my devices I use to record any of my other videos. This is what I do. So just pop all those liners out and I will show you how we should wash those. So what I recommend doing is throwing the liners into your washer, and you want to make sure that your setting is on delicate, and I would recommend using a very soft detergent like a Woolite or something. You don't want to use too much of it, just a little bit. All right, so now while those liners are cleaning, we are going to be cleaning the actual helmet itself. So we have the Molekule cleaner and polish. This is good for bugs. This is good for just grime. This is good for the overall helmet clean, and it gives it a nice polish as well. Makes it look a little bit more new. So same thing as the visor cleaner. We're going to give it a nice shake. We're going to shake the bottle around, and then what we're going to do is I like What I like to do is I like to spray very, vigorously around the helmet, especially because I haven't cleaned this thing in about 2 years. So yeah, kind of nasty. So we're gonna get all those little bug spots. Make sure you get by the crevices, the corners. You want to make sure you get all around it, especially in the hot spots where a lot of the bugs are, especially the front face of the helmet. That's where a lot of the grime will be. So now what I use is I use a nice shop towel. I don't use a microfiber for this. You can use a microfiber, but I use a nice shop towel, and we're gonna give it a nice wipe all the way across. If there's any bug spots, make sure you kind of dig into those spots, get those bugs out of there. We do not want to leave that on for the whole year. Obviously, there's going to be some chip marks on there. Make sure those are actual chip marks and not actual bugs. Those are, you cannot get those chip marks out unless you're restoring the helmet, and they're just going to happen. You're riding a motorcycle, rocks are going to hit your helmet, it's going to chip it, and it's totally okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But unfortunately, this is not a video on how to get those out. You can tell it's just a really dirty helmet. You can see me kind of dig into all these little spots, all little mouthpieces, every little crevice, every nook and cranny that I can find. I am digging into there, and I'm making sure it's nice and clean. So I use these nice foam tips that I got from a hardware store. You can tell that after I'm done wiping this down, you can see that there's a lot of dirt and grime everywhere. You want to make sure that even if it's not within like your breathing area or anything, you just get it clean, because a clean helmet is a good helmet and you want it to last. It's a nice peace of mind knowing that your helmet is cleaned. I like to really get into things and make sure everything is properly stored for the winter and also just clean for the next go around. So you can see I'm digging into the actual mouthpiece here, where the actual vent holes are, and it's kind of gross because you can see on the actual foam tip it's really dirty, and that's kind of what you're breathing in, because the wind goes through that and you're breathing. Also, it could also cause some kind of stink if you have any kind of stink in there, especially with the liner and everything. You just really want to make sure that you're thorough, especially if you're putting it away for the winter. Just make sure you're thorough. It doesn't hurt to put some extra time in here just to make sure that the helmet's ready for the next season. So I even hit like some of the mechanism, all those little crevices. You can see I'm getting a little tedious with all of it, digging into any kind of corner I can get. So again, I didn't really get all the bugs in the first go around, so we're going to be hitting it up a second time. So I'm just spraying, kind of trying to avoid it from hitting the visors. I don't want it to miss onto the visor. You're just kind of applying in spots that I know are bad now that I've gotten a closer look at the helmet. And I'm just going to keep digging into the helmet with the foam tips and the shop towel as well. Also, if the actual cleaner and polish isn't doing the job, let's say you neglected your helmet like I did for about 2 years, you can use a little bit of some warm water with a tiny bit of soap, not a lot, just some normal dish soap. You can use some hand soap as well. I recommend using a hand soap. It's a little easier on the helmet and the actual finish of the helmet. You don't want to mess that up. So just a nice little bit of soap there, and you just kind of work it into the spots, and it's okay if water drips down. If you ride in the rain, it's totally normal. That's normal. That's a normal thing to happen on a helmet. So just make sure you get some nice scrubs in there. You can tell that I'm really working it into the top of the helmet where all the bug spots are, and I will work my way around the helmet and just make sure that everything is totally covered. After that, I'll give it a good wipe down, get it nice and clean, and I could already tell that it was looking a lot better. This helmet looks pretty much brand new at this point, and I'm actually really happy with how the cleaning turned out. And remember, for the actual soap and water, you do not want to use a lot of soap, and you want to make sure that your water is warm, not hot, not cold. Don't overdo it. Don't put too much soap in there. You do not want to wear at the actual finish on the actual helmet or any of the protective layers that might be on the helmet. And it doesn't hurt to use the cleaner and polish and the soap and water. You can use both, especially if you've been kind of neglecting it like I was. It does not hurt to do both. And once your liners are done being washed, you can leave them out to air dry and put them back in once they are dry. So I know this is kind of a quick video, but I just wanted to help anyone out that's been kind of wondering or asking or looking or just curious, or maybe you just want to see another video from me. But that's all I really got for you guys. Make sure you clean up the area when you're done. Keep it nice and clean for the next time. Store your helmet in a nice dry area. You don't want to keep it in any high moisture areas. To help with your visors, you can put them in a nice bag or a nice cloth that the actual visor came with. And then once that's all said and done, you now have a helmet and a visor that's ready to go for the next season of 2026. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video and it was helpful. Comment down below how you guys clean your helmet or any tips from me. Subscribe for more. And as always, guys, I will see you on the next one. Peace.